Hi, so I will be presenting on behalf of my client, the Serie A League, the football league in Italy. And I am presenting on behalf of a sponsorship plan for Serie A to partner with Amazon. So to begin, let's just talk a little about the Serie A history. So the Serie A started as a round-robin style in the 1929 and 1930 season. And as you can see by this graph here, there are 20 teams in the league every year. So what happens are the bottom three teams will get relegated to Serie B, and the top three teams in Serie B will get promoted to Serie A. So that's how the whole standings and relegation promotion works. And so the Serie A certainly has a perennial winner in Juventus, who have won the most titles in the history of the league, which is 35. And the next closest is Inter and AC Milan with 18 titles. In fact, there are more players that have won the Ballon d'Or at a Serie A club than any other league in the entire world, other than La Liga in Spain. In fact, there have been, since the 1929 season, the induction of the Serie A, there have been 67 different teams to play, with Inter Milan being the only team to stay in Serie A through its entirety. In fact, there are the seven sisters of Italian football, which include Juventus, Milan, Inter Milan, Roma, Fiorentina, Lazio, and Napoli. And lastly, just about some stats about the Serie A. Currently, it has the fourth most fans of the top five leagues. And when I say fans, I mean fans in attendance at games. So let's just talk quick about the a few of the polarizing stars the Serie A has had. Very marketable guys. Just a year or two ago, the Serie A was blessed with the talents of Cristiano Ronaldo going to Juventus, and he, in fact, has more followers than the entirety of Real Madrid, one of the top clubs in the entire world. So Cristiano Ronaldo is certainly an icon of the Serie A. Next, we have a longtime Roma stud, Francesco Totti. Next, we have free kick maestro, Andrea Pirlo, Italian national team stud. Then we have Gigi Buffon, legend for Juventus, amazing goalkeeper. And then we have lastly the one of the most confident men in the entire world, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. But all of these men have been icons in the Serie A and have been very marketable and have led to the very high success of the league as a whole. So that's enough about the league. Next, let's go on to why you would want to partner with us. So we're going to talk about our strengths and why those would be good for you, but we're also going to just briefly talk about our weaknesses, just so you can get the full scope. In terms of strengths, the Serie A records the fourth most attendance out of the top five leagues. We have presence of top teams in the entire world, including Juventus, Inter, and AC Milan. We've produced the highest number of European Cup finalists in the history of the top five leagues. We have top talent from all across the globe and top sponsors such as Jeep, Fly Emirates, Suzuki, and MyPay. And there's exposure to channel networks across the entire globe, which means you, Amazon, if you partner with us, you can market across the entire world. Now, quickly, we'll touch upon weaknesses. There have been a number of alleged match-fixing scandals in the history of the Serie A, and this has taken the league's credibility down, which is definitely a weakness. Another weakness is there are less goals per match due to the Italian defense mentality, which leads to less exciting and less entertaining games. There are not many fans outside the top few teams, meaning there's a saturated market. It's hard to maintain top talent and keep consistency due to the weak, volatile Italian economy and not a ton of money for Italian clubs. Now, for opportunities to expand, we can expand the Serie A's current markets, such as Asia and Italy, and further strengthen those, in addition to tapping into emerging markets. Another opportunity is we can gain back the league's credibility and trust due to the fact of the whole cheating scandal and all the scandals in the past. Next, there's been the incredible rise of football as a top sport across the globe, with a bunch of youth playing, much more fans, much more broadcasts, which just means Serie A and soccer as a whole is going to go more into the spotlight. Another strength and opportunity is we have Serie A's strong academy programs to train youth for the future success of our league. Another opportunity is more advertising and brand visibility for us would definitely help build on our brand equity and success. Lastly, we'll talk about threats. There's an abundance of domestic support, meaning a ton of Italian fans for Serie A, but outside of the country as a whole, there's a lack of global presence, which could be a threat. There's a track record of fraudulence, especially the Juventus cheating scandal, which is the reason why they haven't been in Serie A their entire history being in Italy. Another threat is a volatile, weak Italian economy, and this will result in losing players to other leagues due to low spending. And lastly, let's talk about some possible collaborations, some possible partnerships and sponsorships that the Serie A and Amazon could do. Firstly, Amazon could become the Serie A's main sponsor, and this would involve boatloads of above-the-line media, including commercials, advertisements, billboards, things like that. Nextly, Amazon could be the official sponsor or host an end-of-the-season awards show with all the top players, coaches, and stars attending. This would include the presentation of the top scorer, Golden Boot Award, most assists, the title team, everything like that. Another thing could be an Amazon-created soccer ball would become the official match ball of all Serie A games. This ball, of course, would include the Amazon logo. A great example of a ball becoming very successful is the Adidas Bazooka ball for the FIFA 2014 World Cup. Hopefully, an Amazon-created ball for the Serie A could take some of the success. And lastly, another potential collaboration would be that the Serie A could create a charity fund called, for example, the Amazon Charity Fund, or multiple charity events across the year hosted by Amazon under the Serie A umbrella, in which, under both Amazon and, as I said, the Serie A name, money will be donated to charity. And thank you. That is my presentation.